In the abortion debate, one side is incoherent and inconsistent, the other is not. You could poll a random sampling of pro-choice activists, they'd all tell you something different about abortion. Some would insist that it's merely healthcare, no big deal. Others would tell you that it's something to shout from the rooftops, apparently, and be very, very proud of. And still others would tell you that it's always a terrible, tragic decision for a woman, the hardest decision of her life, yet something that we need to maintain access to. All three of those things contradict each other in some way, but they can't decide. They also can't agree on when life begins or when personhood begins. They can't agree on when or whether to have abortion restrictions during pregnancy at all. Pro-lifers do agree because we follow science and logic and reason and morality. Barring maybe what to do legally in the fringe cases of unwanted pregnancies from assault, pro-lifers all agree. We can all tell you what abortion is. We can all tell you when life begins. There is consistency on one side that the other side lacks. That should tell you something. And in a civilized, ethical society, there has to be a pretty much universally agreed upon point wherein life begins and also wherein life matters. These are not feelings. They're not subjective things. Human life is a scientifically observable phenomenon. And tracing that back to its origins when a living human organism with its own unique set of DNA is formed, that is possible. That is a fact, not a feeling. And that is called the moment of fertilization. It can't be left up to the mother to decide when life begins. It can't be at viability for some, but then at first breath for others. That is scientifically incoherent. It's also morally incoherent. The only morally coherent point of view would be to say that all lives matter from the moment that life begins, which is the moment of fertilization. Otherwise, I get to tell you that your life doesn't matter as much because you're not wanted, or because you're not as developed as I am, or because you're not as developed as I think you should be, or because we found out that there's going to be something wrong with you, or because you can't yet survive on your own. That is a very slippery slope, even for born people. And it's also the basis for untold human rights violations both now and throughout history. The idea that human life is not objectively worthy, but rather it's dependent upon your circumstances, or it's dependent upon someone who's not you, their view of you. It's dependent upon how much you are wanted. Again, the only morally coherent point of view is to say that life matters from the moment that it begins. It cannot be dependent upon your circumstances or upon someone determining the worth of your life who's not you. But as I said, there's no consistency in pro-choice activism other than the fact that they're all too busy being overly emotional to care about any of this.